Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. Critically harsh reviews with a touch of class.
All right, ready?
I'm ready.
Go.
Go. Welcome to the Board Game Snobs podcast. This is probably the best podcast about board games that doesn't completely focus on board games. I am your host, Jerry, and my co-host, Gabi's here with me in studios. Please follow me on the Twitter, the Instagram, the Facebook, but actually leave us a review on iTunes or send us hateful emails at boardgamesnobs@gmail.com. Gabi.
What?
What?
Oh, do you want me to chime in?
You wanted me to start this off by bantering, and you told me and assured me
Yes.
that you had
I was letting you get through your intro. Usually you argue about the intro, so I'll let you have your day.
and that was a nice, solid intro.
I didn't even do a code open. It's just a normal intro.
Very nice.
And I didn't even argue the whole host thing. I'm over it.
I appreciate you. I hear you, and I like that very much. So, but
Did you know?
Okay, here we go. Give me a second.
Did you know humans shed 40 pounds of
Skin cells, yes, it's where
in their
dust comes
lifetime?
from. Yes.
Completely replacing their outer skin every month.
Do you know, like, genetically speaking, every, like, I can't remember, is it 7-8 years, you're a new person? Like, all your cells have died and been replaced. So you're a new man.
So we're like snakes.
Yes.
Why?
Why are we like snakes?
Why do we
why
shed
don't we just
skin
wait-
like snakes?
Well, because radiation.
Asps.
Asps.
Aren't snakes asps?
What do they asp? They have many questions. No, it's
You're
like
acting like an asp right now.
they shed their skin so that they grow, isn't it? That's how they grow.
Do we grow
Yes.
when we shed our skin?
No. Wouldn't that be weird that as you gained weight, you had to shed?
My skin. I'm molting.
Oh, I ate a Chipotle this weekend, and now you just have to like lay at home and then like cocoon for a moment, and then there's a
You could grind up.
slightly translucent you sitting next to you because you've shed all your skin.
What? Do snakes? Do snakes have rectums?
Yes. No, I don't know. I said that so confidently, but as soon as I said that, I would assume that they do.
Huh. Interesting.
That's something I will Google as you
Snake rectum.
bring up.
Google snake
That sounds
rectum
like
right
a
now.
really. That's a band name, isn't it?
Everybody, welcome Snake Rectum. Yes. You take their skin, you grind it up, make Asper cream. Huh? Use like on your hemorrhoids.
Yes, apparently prolapsed rectums are a problem with pythons. I did not.
Well, they shouldn't eat such huge chunks of food. That's what happens. They're constipated.
According to ballpythons.net, which is the premier website.
That's one of my primary resources.
The premier website for care and keeping of your ball pythons. This individual posted a local person brought a Mojave, I guess that's a type of snake, and it said its intestines were hanging out. Immediately, I thought of a prolapse rectum. It turned out to be, and it happened to be the Mojave I produced dealing. I don't know what a Mojave is. Is that like some?
Mojave's the desert.
I know, but you're using it like it's a type of snake. Apparently, he used sugar.
I'm not a snake guy. So I don't know.
He used sugar water for the prolapse rectum, which is a thing. We do that for humans.
Are you serious?
Serious, guys. I'm real serious.
Wow.
Don't treat a prolapse rectum yourself, though.
Well, I don't plan on it.
I don't.
That's weird.
Was this the banter that you had
That's a
planned?
banter.
You asked me
engaged.
about snakes, and now... Oh, you're just reading...
Did you know?
Okay, here you go.
More than 2,500 left-handed people are killed every year from using right-handed equipment.
Do you...
That's handist.
I'm so glad you brought that up.
Really?
About left-handed
That's
people.
weird.
Do you know that from a standpoint of survival of the fittest,
I'm sitting. I'm a sit point.
left-handed people should not exist?
You're trying to get rid of me.
Are you left-handed?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
Yes.
You're southpaw?
I write left-handed. I throw left-handed. Everything else I can kind of do.
Right-handed.
I can drink. Yeah, I can double fist it. I can two-handed.
Left-handed people.
I'm an ambi drinker.
Left-handed people.
Bi drinker?
Left-handed people make up about 10% of the population.
So I'm unique, Jerry. Treasure me.
You are unique, and I do treasure you.
That's how you...
I'm about to lay down some knowledge here. Now, think about this. If two right-handed people get married and they produce children through procreation, like normal, they have about...
Not cloning?
No, not cloning. We're not talking about test tube babies. I think it's less than 9% chance of becoming a left-handed person, of producing a left-handed person. If one of the...
Less than 9% chance?
Yes. If one of the parents is left-handed, I think it goes up to 20%. If both parents are left-handed, I think it goes to 25%. So that's not great odds for you being left-handed. But yet 10% of the population...
You know what?
Is left-handed.
Both of my parents... You know what? I'm 1 in a billion then, because both my parents right-handed. Me and my brother both left-handed.
Correct. So that's very odd.
We're odd.
Historically speaking, left-handed fighters in the medieval times had an advantage. Because, right-handed...
They didn't see it coming.
Right-handed people had their shield on the other side.
You better look out.
And so your sword was on the opposite side. And even boxers, a lot of boxers, there's a lot of fighters. People with intense pugilistic skills that are left-handed.
Pugilistic.
That's fighting.
Wow.
Pugilism.
I like that motion you did just then.
I did the motion of the old-timey boxer
like
where they fought with
You look like the guy from Notre Dame.
Yes.
Put him up, Shane.
It's that's how, I wonder why they thought that was an efficient way of boxing. Go ahead and hit me with your next bit of logic there.
The total weight of all the ants on Earth.
Uh-huh.
You have a guess?
I am. I'm waiting in anticipation.
Did you get that?
Did you get that? Anticipation.
Is greater than the total weight of all the humans on the planet. Those little bitty ants.
How do they know that?
They weighed them.
They weighed them?
Yeah.
What is your favorite?
They put out an ant call. They put Ant-Man out there. He gathered them up, put them on a scale worldwide. It's just a process of multiplication, I'm sure. Like a sample, like...
Ant-Man's not the Marvel show I've not watched yet, that you told me was good. I've not watched it.
Okay.
But you told me it was good.
It's okay.
I've saved it to my list of shows to watch.
It's the first one's good.
That's what I planned on watching.
And somewhat humorous.
Has the girl from Lost and Spartacus.
Yes. The second one, not so much.
Not so much.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm going to get around to that. Ant-Man, and what was the other? Venom? Or
Oh, God, no.
No. You told me no on that. What was the other one I was supposed to watch?
I don't know.
You said Ant-Man, and there was another one.
On the Marvel movies?
Yes.
There's a bunch of them. There's 22.
I watched the Cold Shoulder.
Cold Shoulder.
The Winter Soldier. Sorry.
No, that's what I gave you when you walked in. I'm the Cold Shoulder.
So that...
What's your superpower?
I ignore people.
I will not talk to you.
He's just very introverted. What's wrong with Ed? He's the Cold Shoulder. He invites people over to his house for a party and then just sits over there and says nothing. How you doing, Ed? I'm fine, Sharon.
He's acting like a real asp.
There you see. I see what you did there.
I see that. Cold Shoulder.
I'm sorry. That's not that funny. That wasn't funny.
No, it's just
what was the other one you said?
I don't know. There's a bunch.
Captain Marvel?
As we drink,
Okay.
do you know what the number one selling beer in America is?
Is it Bud Light? Budweiser?
Unfortunately.
Yeah. I knew that.
Do you know what number 2 is?
Michelob or something like that. Coors, yeah, it's something like that.
Then Michelob. Then Miller. It's not until they get to like number 5 that's like Modelo Especial.
And Modelo's decent.
It's okay.
But it's not.
Then it's Budweiser. Then Corona, which Corona is like drinking skunk urine.
Yeah. And see, this is exactly why we started this podcast. Because the general masses, have poor tastes in literally everything.
Exactly.
I don't know why it is. It's groupthink. You hear
mob mentality.
The mob mentality.
Just like everyone is raving about Tapestry.
I like that hard merge there.
There you go.
I like that a lot.
What's the mob mentality on Tapestry so far?
It's the greatest game ever.
I've heard about the positive.
What?
I've heard lots of positive.
I've heard positive. I've heard a lot of positive. And I will talk to the game's positives.
Okay.
Okay? It's interesting to look at. It's interesting to look at.
And we're done.
Well, I mean, it's not. It's. Would you define it as being beautiful? Like, do you think it's a beautiful game, or is it just interesting to look at? It's colorful.
Well, when I think beautiful, like photosynthesis was like beautiful.
Yeah.
All them trees.
Tapestry.
No, it's pretty. Yeah, it's
Tapestry.
It's. I don't know. I don't know what other adjective there is.
Besides beautiful.
The little miniature houses. You know what? I don't want to talk about the components because that's what everybody's done. It's done.
You don't want to talk about the components? You don't want to talk
beautiful.
about...
Everybody knows they're
the
beautiful.
superfluous components that literally are not useful, that are made just to up the price, the MSRP of the game. Please tell me more. I'm interested.
The big component that I thought, like, oh, when I get past this, I get this big what's a building?
It's a building. I don't even remember
this
what the
big building, and then I'll have this ability.
One of them strangely looked like the tower in Seattle, the Space Needle. Is that a thing? Did I just come up with that term?
No, I think
Space Needle.
No, that's it.
I don't like the idea of us sticking a needle in space. The idea behind
space arm.
The idea behind Tapestry. And I think you're falling down. You're supposed to do what all the reviewers do. You're supposed to say it's by Jamie Stegmaier and Stonemeyer Games.
There's no need. This is like everyone knows this.
You don't know this. There might be people who are new to the hobby. Okay. Why do you have to be this way?
We're the board game snobs, though.
So with Tapestry, though, if you're not familiar with it, its designer Jamie Stegmaier. Did I say Jamie Stegmaier? Sir Jamie, the creator of Scythe, which is meh. It's okay.
Also, beautiful components that are overdone for the gameplay.
Nothing wrong with Scythe. Nothing wrong with Scythe. It's just not my favorite, but it's a good game. It's decent. Viticulture, which is really good.
Yes.
And what else has he made? Euphoria.
Which was we didn't like. Wingspan is in his line, but he didn't make it.
Beautiful artwork. What was that game that you had that had the stickers?
Oh, Charterstone.
Charterstone, yes. Yes.
Another man.
Yeah.
So he's got... Which one was first? Euphoria?
Euphoria was one of his first games.
Okay, so basically, you made this analogy. I'm going to steal it and run with it.
Take it.
He's like the Michael Bay of board games.
I did say that. That was a great analogy. Thank you for reminding me.
But I was thinking more specifically Transformers.
In a world
the first
where
one,
people can't see past the minis.
The first one
man.
Viticulture.
Is on. I can't keep this going. This is hurting my throat. Keep going.
Well, the first one was good. Viticulture was good, even though it wasn't the first one. Let's say Euphoria. We'll skip Euphoria, go to Viticulture. Viticulture was good.
Good.
His next one, what?
Scythe.
Good.
Scythe.
Transformers 2 was...
Is that the one with or without Fox?
That was the one. Oh, she's in that one.
Okay. That's the one.
But that's the one where they're like climbing the pyramid.
That's the one with the emoticons.
And the racist robots.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes. We're anti-remoticon, racist emoticons.
The remoticons.
Yes.
And emoticons. And then the third one was it was very bombastic. I mean, it was just massive scale. But overall story was meh.
Are you talking about Transformers now? Or what are we talking about?
I'm still talking about Transformers.
Oh,
okay. So then you got Viticulture, great.
Yeah.
Charterstone, Scythe, and now Tapestry.
So let me just do my brief 30-second slick here about Tapestry and its mechanisms. Tapestry is a very beautiful game. It has the name Tapestry, which you talked about a tapestry. Why don't you look that up? Look that up while I'm talking.
I don't have to. I looked it up previously.
Okay, well,
I did research.
Think about that for a moment.
Okay.
In Tapestry, you are playing as a civilization, has certain powers, certain abilities. You have your player board, and the tapestries come from the terms of these tapestry cards, which basically give you special abilities. You acquire these cards throughout the game. You play them to your player board. You have those abilities or whatnot, the benefits. The only mechanism in this game comes from the 4 tracks on the main player board. You pick a track, you move up on said track, you pay the required resources, one of the 4 resources that are on your player board. Pay that resource, do that action. And then you have this little Tetramino-like puzzle off to the side where you're placing these minis of buildings out and trying to complete squares and columns and rows for extra victory points and for extra resources. That's the gist of the game. The only mechanism in this game, I cannot emphasize this enough, the mechanism of this game is, what is it? A track selection?
Track selection.
Track selection? Is that what it is?
I choose a track. I pay the resources. I move up a spot.
Okay.
Done. Your turn's over.
The game is very simplistic.
Then you have to wait, if you're in a 4-player game, for everyone else to do the same. And it can be a while as they look at the tracks, try to figure out what they do, if they interact with each other, what they want. And then it's your turn like 3 or 4 minutes later.
Now, I have often quoted one Mr. Martin Wallace, and I say, quote, where he talked about once of how you should have a really solid main mechanism in the game and then have all the trappings connected to it. In Tapestry, my first complaint, the main mechanism of the game is not that interesting. You're simply just paying for resources, moving up on the track. The track generally gives you more resources, and rinse, dry, and repeat.
I guess that track was on his webpage where I bought the game from. It said inspired by, and it said like Mombasa.
No.
So it's like the tracks in
It's
Mombasa.
not inspired by Mombasa.
But you move up on those tracks in Mombasa.
Okay, so
You
literally...
can move up more than one, though,
That's
in Mombasa.
no.
I'm just telling you what he said.
Well, I don't care what he said.
Don't
I'm just
kill the messenger.
telling you that that's wrong.
Feast for Odin.
I don't know about that because I don't feast, nor do I Odin. All I know is that there's this little board off to the side of your player board that's kind of like playing Tetris that is completely tacked onto the game for
I'm
nothing
so tired
more.
of the Tetris games.
Nothing more to sell minis. There's no reason for that.
Was a
board.
Feast for Odin the first one? Was a Feast the first?
What?
I prefer a feast full of dollars. Get it?
I got it. It wasn't. That fell flat.
Iron Feast. Alexander Feaster.
That
Maybe he
was
should have
all
made
right.
it.
Because Mombasa was, see, you should have led with that because Mombasa was an Alexander
know.
Feaster.
It was.
And now
That's
I'll
right.
forever say that. Oh,
That's right.
you missed it.
Brick Feast at Tiffany's.
So,
You know what I always get confused?
what? Go ahead.
I always get breakfast at Tiffany's confused with Guess Who's Coming to Dinner.
Really?
Guess Who's Coming to Dinner is the one with Sidney Poitier.
Yes. We love Sidney Poitier.
Right? Underwater Sydney's.
Yes.
And Katharine Hepburn. Breakfast at Tiffany's
She's the one that's always shaking. Katharine
You can't
Hepburn.
say that.
Yeah, she has that very distinctive voice and that
Yes,
very
she's-
distinctive style.
Yes. I think that came later in life.
No, she didn't.
Yes,
no, she did not.
It's a disease.
What's a disease? Katharine Hepburn is a national treasure.
Hepburn.
She is not a disease.
Hepburn?
Hepburn is the national treasure.
She had something that caused her to do that.
Oh, Parkinson's?
Yes. I don't know that that's what
Are
she
you not
had.
aware?
Huh?
Are you not aware of Parkinson's?
I know what Parkinson's is. I don't know if that's what she had.
I don't think Katharine Hepburn has Parkinson's.
Stop saying Hepburn.
Katharine
Hepburn. Just like Audrey.
Hepburn Parkinson's.
No signal. But anyway, I get those two movies confused. I don't know why. They're the same era, I guess, maybe. Both classics. I've never seen either of them. But they've been redone. I seen the Guess Who's Coming to Dinner version where they flip-flopped it. And it was, who's the guy that was like, oh, who's the kid from the 70s show? Ashton Kutcher. It was Ashton Kutcher.
Bruce Willis's kid.
Came to dinner.
Go ahead.
He was coming to dinner. It was a white guy going to the black family's dinner. They flopped it. And that's what made it funny, see? Mm-hmm. Did you see that movie?
No, I haven't.
That's
I
the
have
one
not-
I've seen.
I'm sorry. She doesn't.
terrible.
I'm still trying to look up Katharine Hepburn. She has essential tremors.
Catherine McPhee?
Yes,
She has what?
tremors.
What is that?
It's those
Big
big,
worms.
worms. that come up. Oh, see, this is why groupthink is so terrible. The big worms come up. They get after Kevin Bacon.
Do they shed their skin?
They do actually. That was in Tremors 2, I believe, or 3. Can't remember.
Right. Interesting.
And they did have a rectum, as in Tremors. I think it was Tremors 3 that was discovered.
Rectums.
Tapestry.
I rectum so.
Tapestry is not a good game.
No.
And so let me describe why.
I wanted it to be. Since I'm the one that bought it.
Well, yes, you paid $86 for it.
I bought into the hype.
Well, you
Not
didn't.
really.
No, you didn't buy into the hype. I told you this game was going to be terrible.
No, you did not.
I did.
No, you did not.
I tried to tell you.
I watched Rodney's video.
Who's Rodney?
And
Smith?
I thought it was a good playthrough. And I said, I like what he's doing there.
Moving up these tracks.
I like that because it did. It reminded me of, it looks pretty simple. And maybe the gameplay, when we actually start playing it, will be better. But me and you did have the discussion, and I said that I was concerned with everybody just ranting and raving about the components, which deserve ranting and raving. They're beautiful, but it's like
superfluous.
It's like he's covering something up.
He is covering
distracting us.
He was. He's a bait and switch.
Putting a new coat of paint on an old barn.
Well,
because there were not that I require something new, a new mechanism to blow my mind. But he didn't do anything interesting with what he did have.
Blown. It wasn't even wasn't even percolated. In Tapestry, really the thing that gets me about it is one, the randomness, the scoring mechanism of the game, which I've often preached about how if a game doesn't have tight scoring, it's just a point salad and it's kind of useless. In Tapestry, really, your points come from those Tapestry cards, which are drawn and played. They're drawn at random. And as you experience in another game with several different people, the length of the game is unbearable at higher player counts, almost. I will say that perhaps it's the thing that slows the game down is that the end of the era, scoring and getting resources. That does slow the game down.
The first several rounds go by real quick because you don't have nothing to upkeep. And this game was slow because they were learning the iconology. Like every spot they moved to, what's this mean? What's this mean? So I'm sure the next game we would play hypothetically, which we're not, would be a little bit faster. But still, 4-player is way too slow.
It is too slow. And the randomness of the game, your points coming from these cards that you just happen to play that happen to meld well with the civilization that you're using, it's too random. The game is not going, the person who plays the game the best is not always going to win the game. And that's very evident because of the choices that you have. The choices are which one of these 4 tracks you want to move up. And the tracks just either have you draw a card or place a tile that's like out in the middle of the board, like creating land, or attack a tile, move to it and kind of take it over, or the 4th science tile, which is just roll a dice and move up on another track.
Yes.
And it's just very simplistic. It's very simplistic. And if the game was only $40, $30, and it was actually marketed for what it truly is, I think that it would be a decent filler game, a decent light game that people would enjoy. It doesn't need all these pieces to it. Here's what really gets my goat, and I don't have many of those to get,
Billy,
is the fact that it's built as a civilization game.
Yeah.
It's not a civilization game.
It is because they wrote it into it.
It's not. It is not a civilization game.
The tapestry of many generations.
It is not a civilization game.
No, it's not.
Every reviewer I have listened to, and I tend to not listen to reviews until I've played the game, and then I go back and get irritated about all the wonderful reviews this mediocre game has gotten. They've all said the same thing, that it's not really a civilization game. It's more of an engine building game.
Yeah, and like I've heard efficiency puzzle.
Well,
I did like it's very Scythe-like. Like you were saying, it's basically Scythe redone. You're conquering. The battle's dumb. I don't like the battle. Me and Jerry reached a stalemate because, like, if one of us made the wrong move, we weren't going to make the first move. That way, you just move over there and conquer me. The end of round upkeep gets too great as you move along. The variability, like I can see, like once you know the 4 tracks, Like, that's pretty much it. I don't see there being much variability to the game. And Mike won the same way that I won. He went up on the technology track and made it to the end, got that goal. His wife, Crystal, she ran up the warrior, the war track, whatever, the conquest track, the red one, and she went up on the exploration track. She went up on both of those, like, way high, and still lost to her husband, who just went up basically on one track.
He had the right tapestry cards that played into his nation.
He had a civilization that gave him like 30 or 35 points.
So riddle me this. If you were to go to a movie, and this movie, the trailers, and everybody is telling you, this is an action movie, this is an action movie.
Man of Steel.
And you go into a movie theater and you watch this movie thinking it's an action movie, and it's not.
Ad Astra.
That's
what I heard about that.
It's a rom-com. I mean,
Ad Astra looked like super sci-fi, and they said it was just like super boring and like wanted to be like very philosophical.
You would be very irritated, wouldn't you?
Irritated.
I'm very irritated because I have played several decent Civilization games and quite frankly played one that was really good, Nations, just a while back before playing Tapestry. So I was expecting Tapestry to at least be the semblance of a Civilization game. It's not. It's not. It's not even a good puzzle.
No.
It's a very light, random puzzle-like activity.
It might be better if you get rid of the civilization. Take the civilization cards out of it that you're supposed to be of.
Just
because I earned 0 points off the one I had, and Mike earned 35.
I mean, just imagine if you went and watched that Marvel show that you want, and it ended up being just a romantic comedy between ScarJo and the dude that shoots the arrows. Hawkeye. And they never fought T.O. or
Terrell Owens.
What's the purple dude?
T.O.
Purple dude.
Thanos.
I'm sorry, T.O. That guy.
Weird.
It would upset you that you thought this was going to be an action film, and it wasn't. Civilization upsets me because it's supposed to be a Civilization game. It's not. It has all these beautiful miniatures.
That's what I said.
But the miniatures are not worthwhile. You have this stack of 8 miniatures off to the side.
On stacks.
That are just used to place on this other side of the board for this Tetris-style puzzle that you don't want, nor do you need.
Don't need it.
You don't need it.
You don't need it.
I think Tapestry is probably...
Tap me out of Tapestry.
One of the most mediocre games I have played
UFC folks
this year.
WWE.
And I say that anybody who claims that this game...
I don't smell what Jamie's cooking.
...is not random is just... They're just on the Michael Bay fan club.
It's a lot of bling and not much heart.
Right. Thank you.
Just like the Dallas Cowboys. Oh, snap.
That's your team, isn't it?
That's my team. I love them, but I also hate them.
I don't watch football.
I love Tapestry, but I also hate it. I don't love Tapestry.
You don't love Tapestry.
I'm selling it.
But let's talk about your transition here into
what?
This for the listeners.
What transition?
Yes, your transition.
What, I'm transitioning?
Yes, you transitioned on Tapestry.
I did?
So when we played this game the first time, you were like, I could see myself liking this. It's okay. It's decent. And then I was
very disappointed in it.
You were disappointed, but you defended it. I'll play the Automa.
I was trying to give it a chance. I was trying to give it a chance.
You did. Good for you. Good for you for giving it a chance.
Good for you.
And then you went and played it with other people.
And it made me angry.
And you called me upset. You text me and says, Mike hates this game.
Mike did hate it.
Everybody hates this game. I hate this game. Sell this game.
It was bad. It went poorly.
What changed?
For one, going from 2 to 4 player.
Okay.
And then seeing, when we first played it, I was upset at just the gameplay. It was not that fun, but yet you're doing enough stuff. It kind of keeps you interested, but it didn't do anything interesting, really.
No.
I went to Mike's and I saw the randomness that everyone else is talking about. With 4 people, 4 different civilizations, all the Tapestry cards going, I did see the randomness. And I was like, that's not good. Poor DJ got some cards in a civilization. He got 6 points off of them. I don't think the tracks are balanced because the science, I don't know what the science track does. Like nobody ever uses it. I was the only one that used it again just to roll up on the technology track, hopefully, or another random track. I saw its flaws even more, and I just didn't like it. It doesn't do it. It's not special. It's not that interesting. And for $89 from the website, $100 if you get it from Cool Stuff, no. Not to have pieces that you move from here over to here, and they literally do nothing but cover a spot. And everybody hates that Tetris thing that I played with.
Yeah.
Like they're like, so I'm doing all this work and I might get a point.
Yeah, it is.
Or two.
Yes.
Because it's a lot of work to get them over there.
It's a lot of work for very little reward. And I think that's what gets me is that Tapestry is just not rewarding. It's an activity, I think that, of course, like...
And the resources weren't that hard to get.
No.
Like, you seem to be... it's not a tight game.
No, not by any means. I think, though, but what's interesting is that as I went to the internet, perhaps you've heard of it, and looked at all the other sayings...
That's the thing Al Gore made, right?
...of the masses, everybody unanimously loves this game. There are many people who just think that this is just an awesome game. And I have found that there are just as many people who will defend games that they have purchased simply because they've purchased them. It's like an acquisition. It's like a logical fallacy. It's like because you have it, because you pay for it.
You don't want to admit your fault. You messed up.
Well, here's the thing. It's not a fault. It's not a fault. If you buy something and it's not any good, that's not your fault. Now, even if everybody is telling you, it's not your fault. Now, if I tell you don't buy it and you buy it, that is your fault.
You didn't tell me not to buy it.
I didn't tell you. I was like, you know what? Jump. Go ahead.
You thought
do
it
that.
might be all right.
Poke that tiger. See what happens. And you did, and then you were in denial. You went through the 5 stages of grief. Where stage one, I yell at you. Stage 2, you deny it. Stage 3, you take it to Mike's.
This game
Stage
is
5,
like...
we podcast about it.
This game is like a pimped out Toyota Corolla.
Wow.
I mean...
I had a pimped out Toyota Corolla. Tell me more.
Did it have 20-inch rims?
No, but it had that...
Tinted windows? Spoiler?
Didn't have a
sound system?
It did have a sound system. Pioneer.
Oh, Pioneer. Is that still a sound system?
Well, when I had it, it was.
My brother was all about Pioneer and Rockford Fosgate.
I had Third Eye Blind playing in that thing. And it had the little face come off of it so nobody could steal it.
Step up off that ledge, my friend.
Yeah, I got that.
Semi-charmed kind of life.
I'll understand.
What's your favorite 90s band?
Instantly, when you said that with no thought, Pearl Jam came to mind.
Okay.
But
I prefer Pearl Jam to Nirvana.
That's brave and bold. And yes, I agree.
I never understood the Nirvana thing.
I like David Grohl more than I do Kurt Cobain.
Give me that. Give me
Foo
Fighters
any day.
over Nirvana.
Oh yeah.
I just never got the Nirvana sound.
No, I think no. I think people romanticize Nirvana much like they romanticize Jamie Stegmaier.
That's true. And all his games. That have Charterstone.
Flop.
Kind of a flop. I wouldn't say.
Flop. I will say it.
Flop.
Flop.
Like it started out super ridiculously easy and then didn't get that much harder, and nor was it interesting. And even people that like read the story and followed the story, they're like, took us a weird turn, doesn't really make much sense.
Flop.
Scythe and Viticulture are his two mainstays.
Viticulture is really good. Scythe is okay. I like the miniatures in Scythe. I painted the miniatures in Scythe. Scythe is fine. Tapestry, to me, this will go away. Next year, nobody's going to remember this game. And I would honestly suggest, do not buy this game. I'm sure it will be on sale here soon.
I mean, he tried to do something different for him in making this quote unquote Civ game. That's not a Civ game. But I would say he fell short. To me, it was like, it was so close. Like this or that. And I would have liked it. But because we didn't quit the game.
No.
We didn't quit it like
To its
a
benefit.
third of the way through.
We stayed with it.
We finished it. I played it again.
You
But
played it
there's-
with more
there's-
people.
And
Kept
even
going.
Mike said there's something missing. There's something that just is
Je
not
ne sais
grabbing
quoi.
him. Mike was even harsher on it.
Yes, Mike is why he's not on the podcast. Mike is not on the podcast because he was very angry.
He was in a fit of rage.
And Enrique is recovering from his trip. He went to Area 51
he fell.
to do the Naruto running.
He did the Naruto
And
run.
he-
He tripped doing the Naruto
Yes,
run.
he did not make it.
And his arms got scratched because he wasn't wearing sleeves.
Yes, and apparently
Poor Enrique.
we all hope that Enrique gets the feeling better.
He's always sick. If he's not on the podcast, he's
Well,
sick.
he's pretty. He's fragile. He's fragile.
Oh, poor Enrique.
One of these days we'll have like a GoFundMe for him, but we can't really think of anything to fund. I mean, what does he need? Sleeves, but he doesn't need sleeves.
I don't know.
If you want to come see Enrique, you can come to BGG Con here in the fall, November the 20th through the 24th. We'll be there.
It's about a week later than it normally is.
We'll be enjoying ourselves. Enrique will be the one in the fedora and with Sleepless in November. Just like Sleepless in Seattle. Where the Space Needle is from. Do you not remember Sleepless in Seattle?
I never watched that movie, I don't think.
I don't know why
Because
everybody
I did
thought
watch
Meg
it.
Ryan.
I watched it when it was called You've Got Mail.
Yeah, like they did it again. Do you realize why everybody just decided Meg Ryan should be in every romantic comedy. And she took that one haircut she
did it.
had.
She did it.
And she went in every single
She did it.
romantic comedy throughout the 90s. And literally the only person that had any chemistry with her was Tom Hanks.
She was in Inner Space with Dennis Quaid, and that was pretty
That
good.
was not chemistry. That was Dennis Quaid.
Dennis Quaid was good.
Dennis Quaid. he was
And
in
Martin Short.
Yeah,
That was a good one.
That was a Spielberg show, wasn't it?
He was like a producer, but
something.
He didn't actually direct it. It was one of his movies, though. But where is she now?
Megan Ryan.
Let's go behind the scenes. Where is she now?
I thought that show, The Meg, was her comeback. That's what they should have done.
You just see this blonde hair coming out of the ocean.
They
Spiky blonde.
need to do a documentary and just call it The Meg, and it just be Meg Ryan and just everything she's gone through acting. That'd be better than some Australian guy swimming in the ocean from some giant shark.
Australian?
Is he Australian?
Gotta go. No, he's not Australian. Jason Statham?
Yeah, what is he?
He's like England.
He's from England.
I think he's from
Australian.
London.
Makes me think of fan mail, which makes me think that I'm done talking about Tapestry and I want to talk about some fan mail. Somebody send us. We appreciate when people send us fan mail, and we would like for you to send us more.
My morale is getting low.
Yes.
The males have become far and few between.
Let's see here.
I thrive on the energy of others,
Nicholas, he emailed.
much like the necromancers.
He says, "Hey, what happened to y'all featuring Zaya? We're working on it. Sorry,
My bad.
my bad. We had to table that one. It caused a fight.
It was tough. That was like a tough game to learn and set up.
It caused
and
a
play,
fight.
and I think we played it wrong.
We may have played it mildly wrong,
because
and
it was super. I jumped into a sun. I was gone.
Enrique jumped into his. Everybody
did too.
Everybody kept jumping into the sun.
Where are we going? I don't know. Just hit it. Oh, I think we made a huge mistake.
He says, "Why do you call?" And this is directed towards you. Why do you call movies shows? Aren't movies and TV shows shows or musical shows? Or is that just a regional term?
You know, I don't notice that I even say that,
You don't notice a lot of things you say.
but I guess I might get it. Like they used to call them motion picture shows, I think.
That sounds weird.
Going to the show. I think it might just be like an old timey thing. Maybe it's an old timey. Are we in the South here in Texas? Is this considered South?
Did you just ask that is Texas considered South?
I don't, because when people say South, it's usually like Georgia and South Carolina.
No, wow.
Alabama.
Yes, we are.
Alabama.
We are in the South.
I mean,
We're
know.
not Florida man South, but we are South.
I know we are in the South, as in
Texas-
directionally on the American map.
No.
But we're like right in the middle. So I didn't know if we were like considered Southern Midwestern.
No,
or
we were not
straight up
Southern
South.
Midwestern. I just
Is
came.
Oklahoma South?
Yes,
But it's right in the middle.
Not in the middle. We're in the south part of America.
It's like
I just came from the Conoco, and there was a guy with a gun on his hip. We are in the South.
Well, I don't know.
Richard wrote about our
I
last.
think we're just in Texas, and like it's a whole thing of its own.
It does have its own power grid, which I want to play that again. Richard just wrote about the last episode we did, which was episode 71. He wrote, "Holy cow, what was with this episode? Chaos, pure chaos. Love it. Keep up the great work."
It's pretty bad.
It was pretty bad. We're trying to be more organized.
We're going to put this one out since it's more current as in regards to
Boa
Tapestry.
constrictor rectum is throwing us off. Go ahead.
What?
Go ahead. I was
Talk
reading,
about random.
I was reading about boa constrictors about boaconstrictors.net.
They should have no problems. They're constrictors. So, like, they should be able to hold their
You think their sphincters would be
restroom.
like
They
completely...
could just constrict that rascal
No.
for days.
Go ahead. Go on with what you were saying. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I forgot what I was saying.
You're saying something about us being more organized.
Oh, yeah.
Releasing this now.
Tapestry. So this is the hot game. So we're trying to get that out there, get them clicks,
Gotta get
them
those
downloads,
clicks.
got to get them clicks. So we're going to release this one. The next one we release will be over cartographers. It is pretty chaotic as well.
Yeah.
And like when we record, sometimes we record 2 or 3 at a time, and sometimes those go late into the evening, and we're tired, and other things have are going on,
And that
it's
shouldn't cause us to lose quality, but it does.
we
are
get kinda
professionals.
crazy. I do lots of editing on this,
But it takes a while. It
but
really does.
yeah, we talk over each other, we holler, we tell stupid jokes, but maybe they like it.
Who knows? I know I like it, and that's all that matters. I know what I don't like.
What?
I don't like Tapestry. And that's all that we have for today. We're going to have to move on to other things. If you like our show, please leave us those little star things on iTunes. And why don't you tell people about us? That would be super helpful. Were you saying something? We're going to end this podcast right now.
Yes, no, I was saying something.
Post us on Reddit. I've been
Yes,
kicked
that
off
was it.
Reddit. I can't show my face around there anymore.
But you post up on Reddit, it just blows up usually.
Blows up like a
crazy.
boa constrictor. Like Michael Bay.
Like a puffer fish.
Michael Bay
Like Michael Bay.
in
Okay.
Anaconda 2
Bye.
with John
Bye.
Voight.